Hi, my name is Danny Cooperberg. I work as a musician and a teacher, and I lecture sometimes, and I help my fellow musicians, whether they're well known or complete beginners, doesn't matter to me, learn the language of music. So here I am in my recording studio in Crouch End, North London, and I'm going to break down Strawberry Fields. It's a classic. I'm going to cut it up into little pieces and talk about it. It's in B flat major, but I've transposed it down to G. There's G second inversion, D minor 7, little melody, B diminished, and then C9, E, little cello part, and then the kind of Strawberry Fields Forever. This little bit, I think it's played on the C type, goes, and then we go to the B section in D. So he's moving around all over the place. It's mainly a Lennon song, and it doesn't follow what we call diatonic harmony. It doesn't even follow modal harmony. Chords are just all over the place. So now we're in D. No one, I think, is in my tree. There we are in D7, and then we're into E minor. Misunderstanding all you see. E with a D minor, D in the bass. And then we go, it's a nice bit. Syncopated. G. E minor with a... Oops. F sharp D7. Then we go C. Very clever. That's actually played by cellos. And we're back to section A. D minor 7. Crescendo. E, cellos. Changes in the melody. Very clever songwriting. And then it goes into this weird psychedelic stuff. So it's so clever. I'm going to break it down a little bit more detail. Okay, so G. You imagine you're in G. You imagine you're in G major. Okay? Oh no, that would be boring. Instead of doing chord 5-1, Lennon does this. Paul McCartney may have helped him. It's mainly John song, I think. He's going D minor. So suddenly we're in a different key. And that's even weirder. It goes down to B diminished, which is one of those horror chords. Okay, so. Then it goes to C, E. So they're really, those chords don't bear any resemblance. And then we have the Strawberry Fields Forever, which is C major 7. So it goes. Again. Boring if it went. It goes quite hard to play on the piano. Then G, E minor, keeps going down, and then we know we're back into C. But instead of going C, we do this thing called an Amen cadence. Oh. But even that's too boring. Instead, he goes. Okay, then we eventually start the verse again, and it gets more psychedelic, gets more dramatic with these B diminished chords. Even louder. A boring fade out in a song is what a lot of pop music, then and now, could muster. But this song ends even more spectacularly. Remember, it's the double A-side to Penny Lane. I think I'm right in saying that, yeah. So, wow. Two of the most groundbreaking songs on one 7-inch record. Pretty impressive. Beyond that. Okay, so. And then we've got It Repeats. And then the final time, Lennon sings a bit higher. Good. So it doesn't go to G, it goes back to C. And then it goes into this weird psychedelic section, which then leads on to a kind of passage that fades. Wow. I mean, the creativity, 1967, early 67, when everyone was waiting for that album after Revolver, and they shut themselves off in Abbey Road Studios. I'll take these off. They shut themselves off in Abbey Road Studios. Oh my God, don't want to feel those now. It's actually quite hot here in London. The sun is streaming through my loft windows here. Yeah, and everyone was waiting. What are they going to do? 6 months. They've been putting 2-3 albums almost in 65 a year, and suddenly, and nobody knew what was going on. Well, they were actually in the middle of creating, commonly regarded as the greatest 20th century recorded piece of experimental pop. Just pulled everyone along with it. So that was Strawberry Fields. Next, I'm going to be breaking down Penny Lane. Very much more a McCartney song. And it starts like this. Solo. It goes. And then back to the chorus. Nice harmonies again. And eventually then we get to a new key. It's called a modulation. Instead of where so that piece is very complicated. Or not so much it's complicated as in a Mozart classical piece to play, but it's clever. It defies the chords conventions just like Strawberry Fields does, but in a completely different way. I'll sum it up. We're in G. Easy. E1/6. Then, like the D-7 at the beginning of Strawberry Fields, he goes here. So, here it is, G-7, which is nowhere. That comes out of nowhere. And then E-7, and E flat. And that's actually a D7 flat 9. But actually, in jazz, those chords are quite common. They're called chromatic chords. So McCartney's doing this. And I like to do this. It's a big build. F. So we started in D, G to D, and now we're in F. And then eventually we get to G. Not before that solo, which I just love playing. Up the key, and we end up in G. So from here in North London, in my studio, I'm going to wrap that video up. I didn't want to get on with too much preamble about my background. DannyCooperberg.com. Hit subscribe there, likes. My son tells me about all that stuff. I've done a few YouTube videos, but this is the first kind of more educational breakdown. They're kind of Rick Beato, and anyway, he's the main one I've seen doing this. Very good. And there's nothing more for me to say than look out for Get Back and Let It Be, much later Beatles songs. That's episode 2. I'm going to break them down later. So I'll leave. Take the headphones off. Put them down, they're so sweaty. And I'll say 3, 2, 1. Bye.